What's going on, guys? Marcus, the Game Reader here. Today I'm going to play for you the Stanley Parable. I saw my friend GD Gamer play it, and it seemed like a bit of a brain melter. And it's a Sunday evening, so I'm like, could do with a bit of a brain melter today. So let's get cracking. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've played about like 3 minutes of this game just to see if it ran all right and recorded all right. But essentially, it's going to be as blind as it is. I mean, I have seen Dave's playthrough, and it's not going to be spoiling much me knowing what goes on because it's a bit random and a bit confusing. So probably just fast forward this bit.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Just a number.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-ripping, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Poor Stanley, no one's here.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility?
What happened?
He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me.
I accidentally...
Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy.
I stepped
Stanley
outside.
Waited. Hours passed.
And then, obviously, I went in to look at this.
Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell.
And then I got trapped in the room.
But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, answers would come. Eventually, someday,
give me answers.
Arrive. Soon,
give me answers.
Very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do.
Oh, really?
Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer.
What's
Here it
closer?
comes.
Oh. Oh, okay. So, I'm back here. Right, so let's depart this room and have a look around.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
There is something I found the other
Stanley
day, but I don't know
decided to
what
go to the
happened
meeting
now.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
So when I played it the other day, guys, for like the 3 minutes, I managed to get up on this desk. I was just walking here, and I walked out the window. I fell out the window into the outside, and he said some funny things, but I can't do it now. It's weird. Can I click things? I don't know. Or what can I do? Oh no, click this computer. Oh, turn it off. So let's go to the meeting room. Turn this computer off. Yes. Yes. Let's put my input in. Alright, so I can get up on this desk, which means I could probably do what I did before and glitch out the place. Maybe. No. What's the purpose of being able to go on this desk, you know? I don't know. It's certainly quite interesting. I can't go through any doors. Turn that off. Can I do any more on this? Nope. On to the meeting room then. Let's go. I'm gonna try and do what I did before again.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yes, I shall follow your instructions. Because I don't want to annoy you. Because that's not good form. Why has that door got no number on it? Bit odd. It makes weird squelching noises. Ah!
Yet there was not a single person here
Meeting room.
either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay. But I'm just clicking. Because you never know what will happen in this game. You click, you might discover something. So, let's just keep clicking. Right, Marcus, why are you clicking? Yeah, I just want to see what happens, really. Nothing, that's what happens. Oh, I can go into the broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
No! I want to annoy you, Mr. Narrator.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Okay. I shall leave.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Right, on this one, because I know you keep looping, so I'm gonna please him on this one and just follow what he says and sort of see what happens. Oh, I want to go in the executive bathroom. I imagine the executive bathroom to be a bit like when Homer Simpson became an executive. And he was all like posh and he had his own towel and a drinking fountain. Lovely, lovely. Move out the way. Right, so that's the boss in there, but he's not there, so what's in here? Contact note, so let's go. Whoop. Whoop.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845. 2845.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
I wouldn't say
into the newly
particularly random. You told me. There you go. So let's go in the inner bowels of this this building. Yeah, can I go anywhere this way? Yeah, I'm behind the machinery, but it doesn't do much good. I can't see a bloody thing. Let's get out of here. Into the lift. And let's go down. Here we go! So many loading screens, man. Come on. Jesus.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now?
But I'm not.
For years, it had never occurred to him.
I'm not questioning.
This question would
I'm
not
doing
go
as you say.
unanswered for long.
Right, so let's head down here. Let's see what we can
Stanley
see.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Or I can go and escape down this long corridor. Yeah, well, I want to get out of here. It's a bit tedious, my job.
Passageway had the
Don't
word
like it so much.
written on it.
So I'm going to
The
escape.
truth was that at the end of this hall,
Jerry,
Stanley
bye.
would meet his violent death.
See ya. I'm out of here.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
I don't want to. I want to get out of this godforsaken
building.
building.
A conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
I'm not going to die. Maybe I will die. I don't know. Let's have a look down here. Look. It's a big dark hole. Yeah, but I'm not going down there. I'm going to sit here and see if you say anything. No? You got nothing to say to me now? Nothing to say? Huh? Alright. I shall jump. Ooh. I think I just killed myself. That's fine. It's not hurting my brain as much as I thought it would, but maybe my brain's a bit moo. Ha! That looked very similar to the end of Portal. How am I standing on this? Oh, I'm inside. I can't see my legs.
Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise.
Oh, mate, this is awesome.
He reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture.
Squishy squashy.
Story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps
I'm gonna crouch.
Great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned.
You would never get me.
Accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life.
Never. Oh. Never. No. Oh.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Hey? Well, for one, the narrator's voice changed. For two, my bones didn't get crushed. And
yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
What's going on here?
When
wow!
every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same.
Wow!
Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Wow! That's really... Wow. Okay, now that is a bit confusing. So I'm already dead. Did I... maybe I died of a heart attack on my desk or something. Office layout. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development through the core layout, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. So, I think this is the actual completion of the game. And yeah, it went down there, went through there. So that's the double doors. So the two doors. The set of two open doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction this room posed. Corridor. The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. This corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the two doors in a good time. I mean, this is, I'm quite impressed. I didn't have those buttons. And there's the credits. Well, guys, I first run through, and I've actually gotten to the end of the game. I presume this is the actual end. So, wow. So this is a bit of a short video. There's the offices. It's got all the little the sort of models. Button sounds. A selection of the sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Credits. Let's see who made us then. Written and designed by Davey Redden and William Pugh. Additional level design, Colin Eddings and Jack Parsons. The impeccable Kevin Brighting as the narrator. Wow. Wow. So I actually did complete the game. I think this is going to be the only video I do of the Stanley Parable. Then there's no point in carrying on if I've literally gotten to the end of the game. I don't know. I haven't watched any other videos, and I don't think Dave got here. GD Gamer. I don't think he got here, so I'm a bit stumped really as to whether or not this is the end. But I think it is. It's showing me all the pictures of the levels, and this is really interesting. So there was a development of the boss's office. That's really quite cool. The office clock, and I'm quite amazed actually. Underground, an early version of the underground portion of this game. But there you have it, guys. First time I've ever actually played it properly, and I get to the absolute end of the game. Like I said, I'm not sure if anyone else has gotten here. I mean, I haven't watched many videos, and I'm just really kind of excited that I got here. It's showing me all these pictures, and it's just quite cool. It's really quite cool. This is the very first incarnation of the freedom ending in the game's alpha. I didn't get to the freedom ending. This is the only... Oh, what happened there? Countdown desk. One of the desks from the early version of the countdown ending. Oh, I don't know what happened there, but it dropped down. That's just really bright windows though. It's just detailing the models, I think. Monitor room elevator. For a time, the elevator in the monitor room could go up or down, with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down, and placed the two endings together instead. Freedom ending. This is the freedom ending as it existed in beta. I don't know if any of you guys played this in the beta. If it released in beta, I don't know. I don't really know too much about this game, to be honest. Obviously, I'll show you the credits, so you know who made it, at least. Countdown room, another version of the countdown room. There's just so much of here to look at. I'm just going to, wow, I'm just going to keep looking. And what's this? I never saw that room. Zending. This screenshot depicts an early version of the ending known as Zending, which was eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. Zending the levers. These levers were originally part of the Zending. The player would pull a lever down, and the narrator would describe what colour lever they pulled. Obviously it's not going to happen now. The game is now paused. Begin the game, resume the game, options, return to menu. Escape menu. For a long time, we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape room. Unfortunately, very few players realised this is what they were supposed to do, which is frustrating for everyone. I'm just absolutely stumped. There's so much to look at. There is so much to look at. The apartment timer. In the previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. Wow. I don't know what you... Let me know what you guys think of this. I mean, this is really quite interesting for me. The cargo lift. The cargo lift is always intended to offer the choice of staying on or jumping to a different path. However, after its early version, we decided we also want the option of the player falling to their death. I know I didn't do that. I've seen Dave get onto that part of the cargo lift. The second version was functionally the same as what's in the final game, but we wanted it to look more like a place where cargo was actually stored. The office stuff. The lounge, an early version of the lounge. Again, we didn't see that, so that's a bit null and void. These are screenshots of the Stanley Parable HD remix. Is that real? I don't know. More endings, fewer endings, more narrators, fewer narrators, more Stanley, less Stanley. Oh god, that is confusing. Am I going crazy? Maybe it isn't the same. I can't read that, it's too bright. Maybe it isn't the same image. Was that clock there before? I don't remember. How do I go back? Can you check for me? The point of the Stanley Parable HD remix is to win. The point of the Stanley Parable HD remix. Oh, that's a bit weird. Warzone. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realised shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which is not our intention. Wow. This is really cool. I'm blown away. I mean, didn't expect to get here today. Ever. That's where I went up before. Is there anything down here? Oh, this is where I went. So I've gone in the big circle. I'm not too sure what else I could do around here, guys. I'm just going to keep looking at the photos and reading it and stuff. Freedom ending, reincarnation. So I've been up here. Exit. Oh, there we go. Before I do that, I'm going to quick scout around, just to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. Here we go. Stanley's office. From left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. The first was created in November 2011, the second March 2012, and the third in February 2013. So they are slightly different. Now, I think that's everything. No. I didn't see this before. Meeting room. Number one option. One doorway to maintenance in the lounge. So, first choice, a bay, staircase, disobey, lounge to maintenance. Then two options. Two doorways to maintenance. I think there's on each playthrough. Three options, one option. Number three, one option. One doorway to maintenance in the lounge and the original back on the track option. Number four, vent. What about this? Maintenance layout. The flow or full ways following the first two doors is important to get it right. Since players will replay them so many times, we discussed a number of designs, but ultimately it was the simplest version that won out. But I've played it once. So back here again. Are these rooms changing? No, I don't think they are. Right, another quick blitz through, guys. Static TV. Trailers. We ran 4 major teaser trailers over the course of the game's development, each meant to convey something about the spirit of the game. This is the first one, released in May 2012. It features a series of broken rooms and the voice of the narrator informing viewers that he is preparing a new version of the Stanley Parable. Clever. That's quite cool. So, is that now everything? I don't know. Should I go up there? Not really too sure where I am, to be fair. One last walk around. There's so many rooms here. Obviously, you ain't got a map or anything. Oh, there we go. That's where it goes. It goes down there. No, we didn't go in there. Right, we'll go in there. We haven't seen that before. Up here. Go down there. Yeah, so we read that. Narration outtakes. Kevin Brighting, the voice of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over the 2 years of development. These are clips from early takes that were not used in the game. I don't know about you guys, but I can't hear anyone talking.
fairly supposed to push them at night.
Well,
Stanley pushed the number 6.
I can't hear that, so I'm going to skip that and head to the exit, I think. There you go, guys. The ending. The final... The actual ending, I guess. And now we're going to leave this ending area, go out the exit. And I'll probably put me back to the start, but I've completed it.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now. It'll be your only true choice. Whatever.
Fuck, I don't know what to do. I thought that was the end. Yeah. If I quit the menu, I'll go back to the start. If I do this, would I... yeah, this is the brain fuck. That was the ending. I'm sure that was the ending. It had the credits, it had all the models, it had everything, all the early pictures. What do I do? What do I do? She's telling me to quit. It's the only way to complete the game. But she's saying that... I mean, what was the point? Oh God. Shall I do it? Shall I do it? Shall I do it? I don't know. I don't know. What happens if I stay in the car and it's the ending, but then if it kills me, I'll probably just go back to the start. If I quit, I'll go back to the start. Do I quit the game? Let's see what she says.
Do choose it. Don't let time choose for you.
I've got like 3 seconds. If I unquit now. I think I'm just going to make the decision. I'm going to quit the menu. I've done it. Kind of wish I'd have gone through the squashy thing now, and then maybe it would have been different. Whatever way, guys, I think I just completed the game in my first try. What I'm going to do is I'll record myself playing through it one more time, and we'll see what happens there. So, yeah, I'll play it through again one more time, see if I can get to that same point. But for now, guys, thank you for watching me. Thank you for watching me have my mind melt at the end of that game there. Hope you enjoyed it. Give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribe. And I'll see you in the next episode of the Stanley Parable. Thank you. Bye.